This is the story of an ordinary family living amongst us, selling food like so many others. A mother, her son, and two daughters running an Amala shop in Ayobo, Lagos. For a year and 7 months, they lived there. They served their customers. They went about their lives. And then, in the early hours of January 1st, 2023, they vanished. This is the full story, every detail, every clue, and the mystery that still haunts the neighborhood till today. The day they came, neighbors helped them bring their things inside. A neighbor opened the big gate. They all struggled to move their big table in. It was so heavy it couldn't fit properly inside the shop. They had to carry it inside the compound. That table will become the center of the mystery, but at first, everything seemed normal. For the first 2 weeks, they were just like any new neighbors, but then things began to change. The family inside ignored the neighbors. They stopped greeting people. They told the children not to greet them. Even the small kids who would pass their shop, they called them aside and said, "Stop greeting us." It was so shocking. The family never had visitors, not during holidays, not during celebrations, no friends, no relatives. They lived inside the shop and that was it. Even during festive seasons, no one came to visit them. They stayed inside always. The door locked, no window, no air, even in the heat. Four adults sleeping in a locked shop, no windows, in the stifling Lagos heat, living solely. What caught people's attention was that these four adults were sleeping in the same shop with the door locked, no windows, and everything. The dogs never accepted them, always barking, always uneasy. For over a year, the neighbor's dog barked at them like they didn't belong there. It is normal for dogs to bark at strangers, but not when they have been there for a year and 7 months. There were poor customers' interaction. For example, one customer complained that he insisted they answered his greetings and then they refused selling food to him. They told him there was no soup, even when there were a lot of soup in the pot. A woman even tried washing her plate, then a family member snatched the bowl and poured the water away. They wouldn't let customers wash their plates. Yet the shop was full with customers because their food was the cheapest and very delicious. They didn't go to salon. The mother would do their hair, the son would cut his own hair. Then what shocked everybody was that they never used mirror. They don't use mirror, you don't come to their shop with mirror. They spoke in a language that even neighbors had never heard about before. Not Yoruba, not any Nigerian language. Then on December 31st, they were there. The neighbors saw them by 2 a.m. and by 9 a.m. January 1st, the neighbor got a call telling him that the family have disappeared. He immediately stood up, went outside, everything gone, no table, no pots, nothing. That table was so heavy, so large, it took several people to move it. The neighbor said it was impossible to lift over the fence, impossible to take those things without a truck, and yet they were gone. They all went to the caretaker's house, asking him to provide the name of the family that was there. They didn't give any name because the caretaker said they didn't bring papers. In fact, he said that the day they were supposed to bring papers, they did not come. And unlike him, he didn't pursue the matter. They didn't have any ID card, no paperwork, nothing to trace them with. So while the neighbors were complaining, someone said, I am not saying they were spirits, but things were not normal. How did they disappear? How did they move that table? Because I locked that gate and I'm still with the key. The dogs were always barking at them. They never had any visitors. Their language was a strange language. So I leave it for you to judge. This is not the only story like this. There are others. Whispers of strange families, sudden disappearances, mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe to the channel. Join the search for the unexplained. Share your theories in the comments.